Howdy, y'all. So, you guys asked to get a male perspective on Sister Wives, and my husband refuses to show his face on camera. So this is husband.
Pitcher Man!
Or the big pitcher. Some of you may recognize my big pitcher from my previous shorts where I focus on my big pitcher a lot. Every time.
The first introduction to me, too.
Yes, you were not on the video, but you did come upstairs and ask me what in the world I thought I was doing.
Yeah.
I was basking in my sacred loneliness and focusing on the big picture. And then later he told me...
It's a funny short. Just go watch it.
He did also tell me to go bask in my sacred loneliness because he would like to bask in his. Didn't you?
Yes, I did.
He did. So, husband is here to give some perspective on Sister Wives as someone who has never seen anything but parts of season 16, season 17, and season 18.
Yep, and now the first episode of season 1.
And now the first episode of season 1. So he had never seen a lick of Sister Wives. It came out in 2010. We did not know each other then.
No, we did not.
We did not meet until 2016. We got married in 2017.
Yep.
We
moved in the house.
2018. Had our kids in 2019. And then it's 2023.
Yeah, thank God.
Yeah. So, I mean, that's really been our whole life. But you had a little bit of knowledge of, like, the fact that the show existed.
Well, yeah.
And you knew that I had watched it.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Okay.
So... I know other people that watched it, but I just...
Right, you weren't about it.
I was too young and dumb and...
Didn't care.
Had other things going on.
Well, I mean, like, you had a real life to live rather than reality television.
Well, yeah. Well, I did like the Jersey Shore.
We don't talk about the mistakes you made in the past. Anyway... So he had never seen, before, he had never seen any of the beginning of Sister Wives. So when I really started watching it again in season 16, because I had kind of taken a hiatus, I missed 14 and 15, except for kind of spotty, I would catch bits and pieces. But when I went back and really started watching it every week with season 16, you were kind of like, I don't know the lore, but I'm trying to listen to you. And then with season 17, you were like, wait, this is kind of a dumpster fire.
Give me the shade.
And then in season 18, when everything would happen and I would try to explain the lore of Sister Wives, I was told, can you find someone else to talk to?
Yes.
Welcome. So let's...
1,000 subscribers.
Almost 1,400, actually.
Only
almost 1,400. Yeah. We got a little sidetracked in getting this video put out thanks to... It's not your fault. It was the lumbar puncture.
Lumbar puncture worked. Life.
Thanks to what is going on. And so let's start at the very beginning and ask the simple question. In season 18, do you have a favorite wife?
Yes. I like Janelle.
Okay.
She just seems go with the flow.
Yeah.
She just seems go with the flow, and I mean, I kind of been lately on a heavy metal kick. The fact that Janelle's a heavy metal girl, I'm just like, yeah.
Speaking of that Sims DLC that I just bought, the knitting pack apparently comes with a heavy metal add-in. Anyway, I would say, okay, so which of the wives do you think I'm the most like?
Oh gosh, that's like apples and oranges.
No, which of the 4 do you think I'm the most like?
Well, you're not really like any of them. I mean, you really are your own thing. I mean, you have aspects of each wife that are all good. They are.
I'm sorry. What good aspect do I have that's like Robin, please?
Okay, you have the good aspects of the 3. Not of the, whatever, I don't know if I'm allowed to say it. What I call Robin.
No. No, you are not. But he does not have a very nice nickname for Robin. We will not say it on here. Okay.
She's definitely a garden too.
If I had to actually pick the wife that I was most like, I would say that I have the outgoing nature of Christine, but I have the hobbies of Janelle.
Yes, I would agree with that as well.
So,
I love you, but I'm gonna
the gardening.
Yes.
Yeah. Well, I also cross-stitch, which you haven't seen yet, but Christine does that.
Okay.
But yeah, okay. So we would say a cross between Christine and Janelle if we had to pick, I guess. Okay, so in season 1, in episode 1, did you have a favorite wife?
I mean, I liked Mary, and I know that's gonna be very controversial, but just the way that they put her out there, she seemed very happy-go-lucky. Definitely a stark contrast
to how she is now.
How she is now, where she's just so hurt and jaded, and I mean,
I feel like we're getting a little bit of that.
No, she's definitely coming back now.
Yeah, that
reinsurgent, that second life.
Mary, yeah, back in again. Interestingly, in 2010, I'd have told you that Christine was my favorite, and Janelle was my least favorite.
Oh. Well.
I did not like the comment that Janelle made about, I can just leave my kids with Christine and go to the movies. I actually thought that, at that time, I thought Janelle was going to be the one who would take the most advantage of everybody.
I got you.
And now I can see now it probably was just a comment made because television.
Yes.
At any rate. So then, in watching the first episode, did you have any better luck figuring out which children were which?
Nope.
Who was the one? No, that's not true. Who was the one child that every time they were on screen, you knew who they were?
Savannah.
He only knows Savannah. I think that's because we see so much of Savannah in season 18.
So much like her mom.
I know, she is just tiny Janelle.
So it's just easy for me to remember. Oh, Janelle, Savannah.
And
Janelle.
Little Savannah is super cute.
She is very cute.
Though, let me tell you,
even though
Tiny Isabel, tiny. Oh yeah, Peyton's an easy one to recognize.
Yeah, because he's pretty much the exact same.
Oh, actually, I was struck by how many of them look similar to now. Yeah. Gwen, Gabe, Hunter.
Dark-haired girl that was definitely like
Maddie.
Green Day, like Wake Me Up When September Ends. Like I was like, okay, you go, goth girl.
Do you remember the name of the one child you could not figure out at all?
Nope.
Aspen.
Nope, not a clue.
He cannot figure out Aspen to save his life. McKelty also looks pretty much the same as she does now. Okay, so we saw that. So Cody shows us, they kind of show us the same day from the perspective of all three wives, right?
That was pretty cool.
Yeah, it was a nice way to do that. But the wife of the three wives, whose day-to-day perspective stood out to you the most?
Well, okay. Well, first off, I'm going to say Janelle is kind of out. Because, yes, they showed her, but she was mainly at work.
Right. I kind of felt like Mary, we really didn't get a good day-to-day on her either.
We did not. But Mary was more of a... This is how I think that they did it. Okay? So, Mary was more of the backstory. Mary wanted to tell everybody where she came from, how they came from, how she met Cody, how blah, 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 blah. Mm-hmm. Then Janelle was more focused on, what I want to say is Daddy Logan. And the kids.
Yeah, they focus more on Logan's day-to-day than Janelle's. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Because, I mean, you had Janelle, and you had Cody getting up in the morning to say goodbye. Which, I gotta give the man props for that. I mean...
Well, but he was already up. He could have made breakfast instead of Logan.
Well, I was actually just about to say that.
I didn't mean to cut you off. I was just frustrated.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Because, I mean, it's the truth. The man was already up. He could have made breakfast. But the fact that clearly... Because you could tell, he clearly went back down and went back to bed. Like, you could tell.
Oh, do you think that's why Christine ran back in the bedroom when the toast was on fire? Exactly. Because he went back to bed.
Because he went back to bed.
I never caught that. Interesting.
I promise you, I think that he went back to bed. Because then the very next scene, when you see
because she closes the door when Peyton... She closes the door because he's in there probably getting dressed. Maybe.
So he either went back to bed or he went to go get ready himself for work. But
something.
I think that he went back to bed.
But then we get to see Christine, who starts her day at 6:15 doing laundry, gets the kids up at 6:30 and gives them an additional 10 minutes.
Yes.
Makes breakfast, and then she starts homeschooling the kids.
She only makes breakfast for Cody, though.
No, she makes her kids.
Yeah, and her kids.
Yeah, because Logan even points out he does not make breakfast for all 12.
All the time. He even says all the time.
Right. Okay, but he did point out that that's not a consistent thing for him. So she does take care of that part, which I think, frankly, she probably would have fed Janelle's kids, too.
She probably would have.
So we definitely get to see more of Christine's day-to-day. And before, you had made a comment to me about when she had made the commentary about being the domestic wife.
Yeah, the domestic wife when she's ironing the clothes.
Right.
She makes a comment about how she's
the domestic
the
wife.
domestic wife, but the way that she says it, she rolls her eyes, and it's more of like a scoff, like like I'm the domestic wife. Like clearly, she wanted something slightly more. I think that she definitely, like she even said she wanted the family, and even now she wants the family. She never really. This is just me going off of one episode and what I've seen so far. I don't think she ever really wanted, like, I think she wanted Cody, but I think she wanted what Cody brought, which was the family.
Interesting. I always thought that she wanted Cody, but it was more like Janelle said in the tell all this time, the idea of Cody. Yes. She liked the idea of Cody because Christine thought that Cody was truly in love with Mary and Janelle, and that made her feel safe to join his family. Yes. But she also has talked to the past.
But I mean, even when you look at the episode 1, it's clear as day that they are already having issues.
Well, yeah, they're already very much struggling.
Like you look at how forced Christine and Cody are. It's so fake. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, even that scene where he's like, looks like you got a baby in there.
Yeah.
And she's like rubbing her belly and she's all excited. It does not they don't seem compatible there.
No.
Looking at it now.
Like you said, that green line test or whatever.
Oh, where she's pushed away.
When you see all three of them and their interactions with Cody, like her and Cody, they are definitely like I can't really, but
they're apart.
Like they are definitely separating. And then you look at Mary, and whoop, I almost lost my big picture. Gotta make sure that's in focus. But when you look at Mary, they're still even like you can see he is leaning away, but Mary is still leaning in. And the only one that you really see is him and Janelle that
have a connection.
A connection.
Okay.
You know, and then at the very end when it's him and Robin, I mean like that's a whole.
That's a whole other can of worms that I'm not opening just yet because I actually have a question before we get to that.
Okay.
So.
Because I actually wrote something down about that cut between it.
Okay.
But, okay, go ahead.
So then Christine's sitting on the couch giving her confessional.
Yes.
And she specifically tells us that she wanted to be a third wife because she didn't want to be married to a man alone.
Yep.
She didn't want to be the wedge. She wanted to be the third because the third was the easiest.
Yes.
Okay.
She was the mender.
Yes. She came in to mend the fences. So then she says, sometimes a girl comes into the family and it's obvious she wants the man and not the family.
With an eye roll.
So now with the perspective of season 18, do you think Christine was specifically talking about Robin, or do you think she was just sharing anecdotally about polygamy?
Okay. So okay, to even answer that question, I gotta point it out beforehand. Like that whole when they first introduced after Cody had the
in talk, like the last 2.5 minutes when they first introduced her.
And that's when you see so much animosity.
Okay.
Towards Robin right off the get go. Where Mary said that she has to work on her jealousy.
Right.
There was an end scene there at the end where you could clearly see that she was crying because Cody was leaving to go see Robin.
Correct.
Yet again.
Yeah, because it's a 5-hour drive.
Yes.
Okay.
And
she, I think, was living in St. George at that time, Chris.
Yeah, but I don't care.
You don't remember that from season 17? When Cody tells Christine when they're getting divorced that she needs to go live in St. George, and she says, gross.
No.
Season 17, episode 1, she tells Cody St. George is gross.
Okay, well, I don't remember.
Well,
but
you guys you'll enjoy the joke.
But the fact that they go from, oh shoot, now I'm going to forget how they worded it, but they go from Christine, I want to say it was Christine.
Okay.
No, I'm sorry, it was from Mary to Robin.
Okay.
They go from, I got to work on my jealousy, to, he is my soulmate, I love him so much. That's literally Robin's very first thing that she says out of the get-go.
Right.
Why? why would that be the very first thing that you put into the episode?
So, from cinematic perspective, it's probably the best thing to like showcase his new relationship with Robin at that time.
But then you go from that and how giddy and how happy and joyful.
Right.
Because I mean, he was clearly the whole episode. He was just jonesing, and I say jonesing because that's his word.
Oh, did he really say that? I don't remember that. I thought it was just like the millennial thing.
No, because he says it multiple times throughout this past season. You know, he's jonesing to do that. He's
like, I don't remember him saying that, but I'm with you. No, I believe you. I'm with you.
Well, it's about the pencil thing. He's like, you know, that's the way I'm getting at. But
I'm afraid.
But no. But so they go from Mary to Robin,
right,
to back to Christine.
Okay.
And at the end, the very last thing that they say is, you know, Christine comes out with saying she's either gonna have to be absolutely perfect, or if she's gonna be coming in and, oh gosh, what did she say? Basically that, like, she either has to be perfect,
or it's not gonna work,
or it's just not gonna work. And I'm like, okay.
Clearly, perfect for whom?
Yes, exactly. Perfect for whom? Because clearly things between her and Cody are already not good. That also solidifies that.
Yeah.
The fact that Mary says that she has to work on her jealousy, that solidifies that. Mm-hmm. But if you look back earlier in that episode, when they're sitting on the couch, Janelle saw this coming.
What do you mean?
She said, like, did any of you guys, like, they were talking about, like, did any of you guys think about getting a fourth wife?
And she's Janelle like, I kept telling Christine I thought it was getting boring.
She repeated herself that she saw that they were going to get a fourth wife. I think that this courtship between Cody and Robin was going on longer than anybody else actually thinks.
Okay. So, in the book, they talk about how Cody and Mary met Robin at a dance.
Yes.
And she had come to visit her cousin Reba, blah, 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 blah. Uh-huh. Okay. Mary set Cody and Robin up basically at that point. They did not tell Janelle and Christine until Cody and Robin had been seeing each other for a while.
Okay.
So Janelle and Christine didn't know and weren't given the opportunity to say yes or no.
Got you. Okay, that makes more sense.
Okay. Which is part of why Christine really is not happy about it, is because it was thrown on her and kind of... But she was betrayed.
Got you.
Since that's Cody's favorite word in season 18. She was betrayed.
I just thought that it was very interesting that Janelle saw it coming. I think the way that she was saying it was not in a positive light.
You know, I don't know, honestly, because I think Janelle...
I don't think she really wanted her from the beginning either.
I don't think Janelle specifically wanted Robin, but I think Janelle, because she was always much more gung-ho about the principal, I think, than any of the other wives, even though the other two were born into it, essentially. I think that she was more open to it. I don't think that necessarily she specifically saw Robin coming, but I think she was more open to it. You know, gosh, it's kind of getting boring. Maybe we should get a fourth. I didn't take that as like I saw her specifically. And Christine saying, no, you guys are nuts. We're good. I think also was kind of Christine's way of being like, hey, we only need 3. We really don't need a 4th.
Yeah. But I just thought that was just... It just made it very... And then that last scene when it's him and Robin, and how just, like... How do I even put it? It's just like...
They're all goo-goo eyes on each other and everything?
They're like 2 high schoolers going on their very first date with their mom and dad driving them to the movie theater. You know, where they're just like, oh, team, oh.
Were we ever like that?
No. No.
No, we have some great stories about our relationship.
Yes. Like how we got married when I was making pyramids in a...
We didn't get married, we met.
We met when I was making pyramids in a garage with one of our buddies.
Yeah, we met Mostly because a friend of mine wanted me to break him up with his ex-girlfriend.
Yep.
And it worked, so...
Yeah, as he was trying to hook her up with one of his buddies.
It was fine.
That was hilarious.
It was fine. There were a lot... There's just a lot of wild stories about how this relationship should never have happened, and it did.
Yeah.
I mean, my favorite is still when you broke your foot almost.
That was a good one. Maybe that's a story for the next
time.
time.
Might be a story for the next time.
When you guys reach 3,000, I'll come back on.
And tell them the story of...
Or if you hit another big milestone, like, let's just say, like, maybe not even 3,000. I mean, the way that your channel's growing and stuff, I mean...
You're afraid that it's going to hit 3,000 too fast? What?
I kind of am. But I'll... Okay, look, you guys get to, what? You know what? Just forget it. If you guys get to 3,000, I'll come back on and I'll do watch a couple more episodes of season 1.
Oh, you're watching them anyway because we have to do a rewatch once this season's over.
Okay, well, I'll give...
You don't have to do the videos, but you have to watch it.
Okay, well, I'll watch them and I'll come back on here and I'll give you...
What if we let them pick...
newer intake.
What if we let them pick, like, the most important episodes for you to review?
That's fine.
Like, you don't necessarily have to review all of them with me, but there are some Sister Wives lore episodes that it's like, husband must see. Like Tony McKelty's wedding, I think is going to be a big one.
Tony McKelty's wedding, because, I mean...
Truly's birth.
Tony is Robin's spy.
Yeah.
He is Robin's spy.
He does not feel good about Tony.
No, I do not. I do not. That man... Ugh.
He's not happy about Tony. Okay, so...
Just leave her alone.
So then, important question. One of our subscribers asked.
Yes.
Do you see value in polygamy? She did not specify whether it was secular or religious polygamy.
Well, religious polygamy, I do not see the value in at all.
No.
Like, at all.
I couldn't either.
And truthfully, polygamy in itself, I don't... I think... I don't know. Because... I do and I don't.
Do you see value in polygamy or in community?
I see value in community.
Right. So that's not the same thing.
No, it's not the same thing. I can see the value in community more than polygamy.
Right.
Which I think is what they're trying to get, but they've lost their way. I really do.
I really do.
Because we get the same...
I don't.
Because I understand, like, Christine even mentioned it in the first one, you know, and Janelle also. Like, you have these other people that you can rely on. And so did Mary, actually. You have these other people that you can rely on, that they're already there. That if anything happens, you already know that their kids are going to be taken care of. You know? And
right.
that, like, if you want to go do something, you have a little bit more leeway because you already have that built-in support. However, you can get the same thing with just having friends.
Yeah, without having to share a husband.
Exactly.
Could you live polygamy?
No.
Nope. Could you live polygamy because of you or because of me?
Yes. Yes to both.
No, honey, you're basically saying that yes, because of you and because of me, you could live polygamy.
Oh, no. No. I could not live polygamy. Not myself, not because like it's you don't share well. You are Joey and friends. You do not share.
Joey doesn't share food.
No. And I mean, that man's right. You don't share food.
No. Yes, I share food. I don't share husbands.
I don't share food.
You've
okay,
never...
I do, but I don't.
You've never tried to stab me with a fork,
no.
And I appreciate that.
Yes. But I don't think I could do it. I really don't.
You don't have the capacity for it?
No, I do not. Look, I love you. But sometimes there's days where my capacity is down to here.
He loves me, but I'm a lot, is what he's trying to say.
Yes, I still love you.
I am a lot. It's okay. I'm not offended by that.
I get her a Dunkin' coffee. Boom. Good to go.
When did you get me a Dunkin' coffee?
No, I'm just saying. You know.
Were you thinking about getting me a Dunkin' coffee today?
All right, fine. You want a better? You want a better one? Do they want them? When you said I really want crappy chips and
Oh, I really want crappy nachos.
Nachos, yeah. And then I went out.
He went and grabbed me a bag of chips and queso blanco. It's snowing. Why did you go out in shorts?
And in flip-flops. Because I was tired. I wanted to get it done. I got so many looks at the place that I went. Well, I can't say Walmart. Because nobody's gonna know where the heck that's at. Like, it was snowing
in all of the United States.
I mean, it was 20
It's snowing
degrees,
somewhere with a Walmart.
Like, You wanted crappy chips and sauce, like, chips
Salt and
and
queso, basically.
queso. I went and got the chips and queso and got looked at like I was a crazy man.
Okay, I thought that there was an offer of Dunkin' on the table that I had somehow missed, and I got
No,
really scared.
no.
At any rate, so community over polygamy.
Yes, community over polygamy.
Got you. Do you do you think that there is value in polygamy for children? And not don't talk about community in polygamy specifically for children.
That's tough because I don't, but at the same time, I think it would be nice for them to have multiple people. But once again, then you go back into the community aspect.
Right.
I'm more into the community.
Right.
As polygamy
Well,
as for kids, no. I
I'm
do
specifically
not.
asking because you could
No.
see how the kids were in
Yes.
that first episode.
And
They were all together. They all were raised as siblings,
which
and they
I
were
think was
happy that way,
amazing.
which is
Yeah.
great. But then you come to season 18, and you
none of them
see
talk.
how that's not true.
Okay, well, you know what I'm
The
saying.
original 13 all talk to each other
Yes.
for the most part.
Yes.
But then you come to season 18 and you see where the kids are saying, I knew Dad never really was that into you. I knew this, I knew that. And the wives are even saying, I want my kids to see healthy marriage relationships, and they didn't see that from us.
Yes. Well, I mean, when you look, it goes back to that first episode, the first episode when they're all on the couch and Cody's breaking the news. You look at the little kids have no idea what the heck's going on.
Oh, no, of course not, because they're little.
don't.
And the older kids seem concerned.
Older kids seemed concerned because they already saw the writing on the wall.
Okay.
I 100% agree. Say that they already saw the writing on the wall. You look at Logan, and you saw in that boy, that he was already tired of.
Well, Maddie even was like, are you engaged? Like,
Yeah,
I thought that was funny. I missed that. Like, I didn't realize she said that. Okay. Well, we are rapidly running out of battery.
Yes, I know.
Do you have any final thoughts on the first episode of Sister Wives? Like, how goofy Cody looked, or how...
I will admit that he actually looked halfway decent.
Yeah, he looked a lot better back then.
And thanks to Robin, he now looks like garbage with noodles on his head.
Robin taught him that curly girl method.
Yeah, well, that was a mistake.